Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going? It is 3:43 p.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday, June 2nd. Hard to believe it's June already, but we got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to try and do the best that I can to keep this video as short and informative and dense as possible. So, if you like these videos, if this video is informative for you, if it helps you in any way, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it greatly. Also, remember, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is to be considered financial advice, so please do your own research. This is all for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. I am just a trader, but I do have my opinion, and I'm going to share that with you. So we're going to get right into it, and we are going to talk about altcoins, Dogecoin specifically. That's what it's all about right now as they list on Coinbase tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 12 noon Eastern time. That's 10 o'clock where I'm at. So remember that. That's going to be pretty significant, and it already has been. The price has gone from like 31 cents to 42 cents right now. It hit 45 almost. Anyways, let's go over Bitcoin real quick. Let's see what's happening. I got some news on a few different altcoins as well. But Bitcoin, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. There's a few things that I'm looking at. Number one, what we've talked about before, this bear pennant here that we're still inside of consolidating. The nice thing that I like is it seems that like every time we've started to come down, there's been a big buy, where we increase by like $1,000 or $1,500 in a short period of time. The other thing I like is MACD flipping over, starting to rotate upwards. Really like to see that. Which way is it going to go? I don't know. Easiest way to get in or out of this is that if you're in it and it breaks down below this line, sell. If you're not in it, it breaks above this line, buy. Could it fake you out? Yeah, but those are the highest odds. Those are the highest probability that's the way to put the best probability in your favor. Other than that, you're just kind of guessing. I think that if it were to come down, it would have come down already. The thing I don't like is that one news article, one news headline could swing this either direction in an instant. So make sure you have your stop losses in place, just like we wanted to when we were up here and right here at 42,000. So anyways, then we're looking to have a low close, a daily candle low close above the 200-day moving average, and then we're looking to retest the 50-day moving average and the low back here of $47,044 should we break to the upside. We've been under this 200-day moving average for quite some time. Little concerning. People always want to debate, are we in a bull or a bear market? I don't really think it matters at this point. We're in a sideways market at this point, but we went 55% down from the highs. There's two ways I look at bull and bear market. Number one is the 50-day above the 200-day. Yes, okay, we're still in a bull market. There's another, a little tighter definition of a bear market, where a bear market can be considered as early as 20% down from the highs with extreme pessimism, and we definitely experienced that. So I think we're, for me, there's no question we were in a bear market. Now we're trying to come out of it. So we'll see what the 50 and the 200-day do. We'll see what the price does. Still not, I'm not trying to guess in either direction. I think that the fact that we've held higher lows, above this $30,000 mark is great, but the fact that we've had lower highs, that's what is consolidating right now. And we could even stretch this out a few more days. It doesn't have to break up or down. We could tech break it in one direction and then start a whole new case. Anyways, that's where we're at with Bitcoin. People all have their opinions. Nobody really knows what it's going to do. I think after a 55% downturn that nothing's ever due, but I think we see a bounce to the upside. What is really going well is the altcoins in the last 5 or 6 days or so. Anyways, going into the Bitcoin dominance, you could see that playing out. The altcoins are having a little bit more strength than Bitcoin, so naturally that is coming down. Now, I want to go over the news headlines that I've been kind of paying attention to as I go over the chart, so we stay in sync with each cryptocurrency that we're looking at. Coinbase debuts crypto rebate for online shopping via Apple Pay and Google Pay. That is huge. And the nice part about this news is that it didn't sell off the price. It didn't jump it. It jumped it a little bit. Which day did this come out? This was June 1st, so yesterday. So nice little move yesterday. We came off of a low 2 days ago of was the low there. 30. We're in the low 34,000. Was looking a little scary when we got down, but we recovered a little bit, and we're still in this wedge. But anyways, big news. Anything crypto related to Apple Pay, Google Pay, Apple or Google in general. Two enormous companies. So getting into the altcoins now. Same kind of formation, and this is going to be consistent with what we look at today. I've mentioned this in videos previously, is that everything's putting in the same pattern. They all have this bear pennant, right? We have a little bit of a potential head and shoulders formation in the altcoin market cap, but we're almost to that $1 trillion mark, and the 50-day moving average is at 1.043. I think that'd be a good test right there. Also, looking to flip over the MACD, cross over here, move back to the upside. That's really encouraging to me. Okay, so looked at Bitcoin, look at the altcoin market cap. Now let's talk altcoins, because that's what's been really showing the gains. And like I said, you'll see, and what I've been saying before is altcoins are just mirroring Bitcoin right now, except for like a random few might make bigger moves than others, or make bigger drops than others. They're just moving in higher percentages to the upside and higher percentages to the downside. So risk reward is definitely higher there. So first, let's start with the biggest altcoin is Ethereum. Again, you can see the same pattern, except one difference: it's above the 200-day moving average, where we're trying to do the same thing that Bitcoin's trying to do, but we're trying to do it here with the 50-day moving average. The one thing that I didn't like about Ethereum is it did close the monthly red, but it is a very indecisive candle, spinning top, so it's not too bad. I would like to see it like this, finish green. But momentum is definitely still in favor of Ethereum, but that just is a little concerning. Look at that range on there. We had a low of 1732 and a high of 4380. So huge range. Now it's just trying to figure out what it's going to do. Some encouraging stuff in the fundamentals. However, in a bear market, technicals lead fundamentals, so fundamentals really won't matter. Bitcoin could be adopted, Ethereum could be adopted as much as possible, but if the technicals are breaking down, the fundamentals aren't going to matter. And you've seen that in these ranges here where we have had these big drops. Is we've had pretty good news at times, and we saw a little spike, and then it would just sell off. So hopefully that's a good sign that we're moving back in the right direction to the upside. A lot of people still believe that we're going to see $250,000 Bitcoin. I am one of them. I just don't know when, and trying to time it is the hardest part. So right now it's just kind of tough to tell. Still indecisive. Anyways, some pretty big fundamental news for Ethereum. Ex-head of China's digital yuan effort says CBDCs could operate on Ethereum. Now, again, this is just another headline that's kind of hearsay, but the former head of Digital Currency Initiative and at the People's Bank of China said central bank digital currencies are set to become more smart and could one day operate on blockchain networks like Ethereum. So, it's just another use case for Ethereum, and people think that one day something is going to flip Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is all in the name and it's the first adopter, but there are much better cryptocurrencies out there, especially Ethereum. And are there better ones than Ethereum? Yes, but Ethereum has the second adopter over them, where they might be like the 1,000th adopter. But Ethereum, with its fees and its security issues, there's better ones out there. But this just goes to show you, and it's all in how the transaction is performed. As you know, if you watched, there's a video a while back, where I explained the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, where Bitcoin, if you have one Bitcoin and you're making a purchase of 0.5 Bitcoin, you have to send that entire one Bitcoin, and then 0.5 gets sent back to you. Whereas Ethereum, you could send 0.5 Ethereum and keep the other 0.5 in your wallet. Next, I found this interesting on Twitter. China State TV showing how to use Uniswap to swap to CBDC. Crazy. So very interesting. I don't know how true this is, but as they say, big if true. It is the future. There's many things that I like about it. There's probably much more that I don't like about cryptocurrency. That's kind of garbage and just it's just kind of like pump and dump stuff like penny stocks. But Ethereum as a currency is possible. Dogecoin as a currency is possible. The argument that I have with Dogecoin is that it's not actually decentralized. It's centralized. That 33 or 34% of the Dogecoin exists in one single wallet. So I don't know whose that is, but I do have a guess, and I'm sure you know who that is. And it's probably Elon Musk. The next biggest is potentially Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, with owning the Dallas Mavericks, accepts Dogecoin as payment for merchandise. So, okay, that's with Ethereum. So Ethereum actually looking a lot stronger than Bitcoin. It's above the 200-day moving average. Another one that's above the 200-day moving average still is XRP. This is one that I've been mentioning about a good position getting into around 88 cents, and I exited a lot over the weekend because I was no service. I got back in the 90s, so missed a little bit, but I didn't want to risk not having service and not being able to get out of another crash. So anyways, looking really good. And the one thing I like about XRP, number one and first and foremost, is their case with the SEC just seems to be going better and better. It seems like there's good news every time you look. Court denies SEC access to Ripple's legal advice. So Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn of the District Court for the Southern District of New York ruled Sunday to deny the SEC's motion to compel Ripple to produce memos discussing XRP's sales with the firm's lawyers. According to the SEC, Ripple could have been aware that XRP could be a security from its legal advisors before moving forward with its token sale back in 2013. The SEC filed a motion on May 7th to compel Ripple to produce all communications discussing any legal advice Ripple sought or received as to whether its offers and sales of XRP would be subject to federal securities laws, which is really interesting because Ben Bernanke was a big backer. I believe it was Ben Bernanke was a big backer of Ripple back in 2013, but I didn't get into crypto until 2016. So Ben Bernanke was a really big backer of this, and that was one of the things that caused me to buy into Ripple. I missed the big move, but I did really well on it in 2017. But I did miss the big move, even though I knew it was coming. It was just like one of the last to move. But it seems like every time you look, the SEC gets denied or Ripple wins something. So I think that if Ripple, if the case is dismissed or they win or whatever, I think it's going to at least double in price. I could be wrong, but that's my expectation. It could do more than that. Who knows? Last time it went from, remember, 27 cents to like $3.29 in the matter of, was it 4 weeks or something like that? So really good. One of my favorites, or has become one of my favorites, is Cardano. It has not been one of my favorites today because it's feel like it's just been stuck. Like we have, a breakout of the trend line. We also have this pivot point here, which I already have marked, that we actually cracked above. So a little disappointing that we didn't continue the breakout, but it's just been holding really, really solid. Through here, it's just been kind of the slow churn up. It's felt like it's done nothing all day. And, this morning, everything was kind of doing something. But over the weekend, it seemed like it was the only one that was doing something. So kind of in that scenario with Cardano. Cardano, not much news on it, but this was like over the weekend. Again, Cardano leads tepid crypto market recovery ahead of Memorial Day. So, Cardano is one of the ones that I have been holding. It's one of the ones that I had a really, really awesome trade on from about $1 in the $1.40s to the $2.40 range. Sold a little early, but then I made a loss. I took a loss on some of it that I was holding. I put a really wide stop loss on it, and it dropped way below that too. So it went down to like almost $1 when we had that crash, down to 30,000 on Bitcoin. So that was not fun, but worked out really far ahead. Just goes to show you always need to be managing risk. You always need to be taking profits on the way up. At least that's not financial advice, but that's what I do, or at least I try to do. Every time I don't, it ends up being a disaster. So anyways, Cardano looking really strong. Just going over some others that I mentioned. Luna, it's looking similar to Bitcoin. Been kind of disappointing because, I was in a trade and I didn't, this is why I put this right after that, didn't take profits at when it went up to like 790, and it came all the way down into the fives again. I actually closed out of it at a loss, and I've just been kind of watching it. When I can't get a feel or a read, or things just aren't working out, I just don't trade it. That's all there is to it. I stick with the ones that I'm winning on and that I'm confident on. This one has a lot of potential, though. A lot of potential. If we break up, we'll probably retest the 50-day moving average, which is around $13. So you're looking at a potential double on Luna should we break to the upside. So probably some of the best opportunity that we've seen, but I may jump back into it. I may not. I just want to give it a second. This is one that I may wait on till we do see a clean break and hold. And now, one of the stronger movers, and this is another thing that gives me confidence in Bitcoin moving up. You know, DOT is a good example. Polkadot. You know, Raul Paul was on one of the YouTube shows, Crypto Banter, and he was talking about holding Polkadot in his portfolio. He holds altcoins. He holds the least amount he holds of anything is Dogecoin. He did mention he has Dogecoin just because it's fun, and it is. Anyways, DOT breaking out from the trend line, breaking out past the pivot point right here of 26.22, right? If we hold it, that'd be great. That's where you really want to put on the gas should we hold this on the daily candle and buy bigger than you feel like you should. Looking to maybe test that 50-day moving average around 33, but look at same pattern as Bitcoin, a little bit closer to that 200-day moving average, and it broke out of it. Love to see that. You know, if altcoins are doing that, it gives me confidence that Bitcoin could have the strength to do that as well. We want to, this is in the wrong spot, move on now to, this is one that I actually did really well in during that crash. I was out of everything, just kind of scanning, and Matic has been of those, it connects people, it connects projects on the Ethereum network, so essentially connecting everything on the Ethereum network, and it's just, you know, just rolling with these partnerships and stuff with other cryptocurrencies. So Matic is a big deal. Other things in the pipeline too. I don't want to go over anything just because I don't want to take up too much time, and I don't want to get anything wrong or miss anything out that I don't know, because I don't know everything about it. The thing that I liked about the chart is the main reason I bought it is that everything was crashing and this was still holding above the 50-day moving average. So chances are we were going to have a bounce in Bitcoin at some point, and if we bounced, this I was expecting to bounce really hard. I ended up getting it on the way, not on the way up. It started to come up. I got it at 86.4, and then I had to watch it come down to 73, which is actually a big range. It doesn't look like it on this, but actually a big range. And then it just started running, kept running. Probably took some profits too early. I think around the 140, maybe in the 120s. And then I held the rest, and I've still been holding. This is one that I just want to accumulate just because above the 50-day moving average is still in an uptrend. So we're still in an uptrend on Matic. That also gives me confidence that the rest of the crypto market will start to move back up because there are things that are still in an uptrend. Anyways, we are in this wide range. I'm almost willing to shorten this up. We've been kind of consolidating. Even a flat line there would be good. We have been kind of consolidating. It made a big move. So, you know, this may not move up again for a while, but this is one, every time it drops, I'm buying more. I think my best buy was at like 176 recently. I got some in the 150s the other day, but recently, and it could come down to 150 again. Probably will. I don't know. We may see. Probably not going to see that, but you know, we may, this trend line may follow the 50-day moving average. We may see it come down to there. Who knows? Already up a lot on it, so I could sit through a little more, handle a little more pain on the downside, and still be up significantly on it. Next, UTK, just one that I've mentioned in the past, and I'm going to talk about, if you remember, the 5 micro caps that I talked about in 2 videos ago, I believe, or 3 videos ago. I'm going to talk about that. This is another one. It's not quite a micro cap, but it provides good opportunity should we move to the upside. You can see we're kind of hugging the downward side of this wedge, which I don't like. UTrust is just one of those cryptocurrencies that actually gets used a lot. it gets used a lot. And it just seems like this is exactly where I was watching it back in January, more like the 20s, and it reached a high of $1.06. So, I mean, if we start moving up again and things start retesting all-time highs, you're looking at a potential triple there. Are there better opportunities? Yeah, this has just been one that I've always liked on the fundamental side that I just never really could get into on the technical side. Just one I wanted to mention. And now let's talk about the one that all eyes are on once again, Dogecoin. Big news is that it lists and starts trading on Coinbase Pro tomorrow, June 3rd at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So 10 a.m. my time. That's noon East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, and 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. Anyways, you can see there is a clear resistance right here, 45 cents on the dot. We got rejected at 44.8, came back down into the 30s. I'm just holding it same way I was holding it before the Saturday Night Live. It's probably going to be a sell the news tomorrow. How high can it go? I don't know. It looks like we're putting in, we had a head and shoulders here, we broke down, and now we're putting in like a second head and shoulders, and we need a strong break. Chances are we'll break to the upside of this. We could put in a high shoulder, we could, but a lot of the crypto market is going to be dependent on what Dogecoin does. It has that much pull. It is not a joke anymore, and unfortunately you have to kind of put Elon's tweets on your alerts because the market is affected by his tweets, as you've seen. He's got that much influence. Anyways, what usually happens with these Coinbase listings is, so yesterday people were allowed to move their Dogecoin to Coinbase. So what usually happens, and you saw this with Cardano, is on other exchanges, Cardano was like $1.35, $1.40, and traded as high as $1.90 on Coinbase. So if you have that type of price difference, why not take advantage of the arbitrage and sell it at $1.90, transfer your Tether or whatever USD coin to another exchange, and you could buy it cheaper or wait for it to come down and buy it cheaper. But that's usually what happens, that it takes a nice spike and then sells off because arbitrage is such a huge gap. Anyway, so I'm not looking for it to retest all-time highs. I'm looking for potentially, a 58 cent range. And could we see all-time highs? I mean, the sky's the limit with Dogecoin. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with it? It's just one of those crazy ones that could do whatever it wants. And the interesting part about this is, Elon hates short sellers. He proved that with Tesla, and he put a lot of people into the poorhouse that were short selling Tesla. Dogecoin gets back to pre-crash prices as 16 million in Doge shorts get liquidated. So, put a lot of buying pressure to the upside by that. But yeah, I mean, my plan is to sell a little bit slightly before and sell a little bit during and put a stop loss in after that, because if it crashes, I want to be able to get out of it. I already made a nice gain on it, and yeah, it's just been one of my probably best traded assets or stocks or whatever in my lifetime. I don't think I've done better on anything in my life than I've done on Dogecoin. However, I had 2 million Doge at half a penny, and if I would have just held it, it would have gone up to 1.4 million at one point. But anyways, moving on. Last altcoin that I want to talk about, as far not the last altcoin, but last one that I like. I'm going to make some mentions that people have asked about. PancakeSwap. This is the decentralized exchange on the Binance Smart Chain, which apparently does not have anything to do with Binance, which CZ Binance said on Twitter. But anyways, you can see breaking out here from the trend line. We got our pivot point right there that we got rejected from, but we close above that. That's where you want to hit the gas. So one thing I like about Cake is on PancakeSwap, if you go to pools, this is where you pull. So PancakeSwap is a little confusing. There's just Google on YouTube. You have to have BNB. You have to transfer BNB in there, and then you have to convert BNB to Binance Smart Chain BSC coin, Binance Smart Chain coin, which you do all through Trust Wallet. At least that's how I do it. So then you can connect your wallet to PancakeSwap, and here's what I like is you have this staking, and this APR is 126%. 126%. If the price doesn't change all year, you make 126%. If it goes down 50%, you break even. For the most part, it doesn't work out exactly like that with the price moving up and the price moving down. Anyways, you also have this. This is a little tricky. Depends on how active you want to be. 83.23% versus 126%. The reason this is 126% is because it automatically restakes it 288 times a day, and that makes it come out to that 126% compounded over the year. So in one day, per $1,000, you'll get 0.11 cake right now. So your return is 0.22% a day. Pretty damn good. That's some of the best I've seen as far as just staking goes and not farming. Now here's the part that if you're more active, you can make a little more, 82%, but you can see per $1,000 you get 0.12. That's 0.01 more per every $1,000. Why is that? Because this is just calculated based on current rates, compounding once a day. So if you're on there and you compound it, you know, and you just got no life and you're doing it 100 times a day, you're going to do, I mean, if you're doing it more, if you're doing it once a day, you're getting better than this rate right here on the auto cake. So really good returns. The risk is the volatility in the price. If it goes down to zero, it doesn't matter, right? So anyways, a few that people have asked about, mirror protocol, kind of hard because there's not a whole lot on the chart on Binance. But if we go to the 4 hour, it's just been, you know, kind of, actually this looks like accumulation. So that's pretty nice. Just kind of hanging out in this range right here. Boom. And right there. So really nice, and it is holding up above the 50 period EMA. So I mean, I think it looks just like accumulation. Actually, I think that looks kind of good on the chart. Nothing exciting yet. Haven't heard too much about MERB, but just looking at the 4 hour chart. Let's take a look back at the daily again. And yeah, we're in this range. So not too big of a range for 53 to 537. So it's okay to be patient here. The risky part is you could see that it threatened to break out here and then sold back down on May 21st. What happened to Bitcoin on May 21st? May 21st. Yeah, big drop in Bitcoin. So that's why. So I wonder what it did in its Bitcoin price. Let's take a look at that. So did it gain strength against Bitcoin? Right, on the May 21st, it was still green. So it was still green against Bitcoin, but definitely still sold off. So nothing telling there. But yeah, that'd be very simple thing to watch. I've added it to my watch list. Very simple thing to watch is this channel right here. From between about 453. I'd actually move this one down just to the low of this candle, just to play it a little safer. So about 442 to 537, breakout above the high, buy, break down below here, sell. So not too much telling, not too much going on, but it does look like it's in an accumulation stage, so that's promising. Next one is Helium. What I do like about it initially right off the bat is it's above the 50-day moving average. And that's what I'm looking to be in right now. And that's why I like Matic, that's why I like Cardano, is because those are two of the few that are still above the 200-day moving average. Helium still, or I'm sorry, the 50-day moving average. Helium, it did break down below it on heavy volume, more than 2%. Don't like it quite as much, so it's kind of indecisive, kind of a 50-50 range to me. It's not something that stands out and says buy, and if you know me, you know I like to find things that I could look at in the first 10 seconds and say, yeah, I like that. You know, that's a buy. I like simple. I like easy. I don't like to overthink. Well, I definitely overthink all the time. I don't like to do it. But, you know, this is, you know, a little bit decreasing volume. So it looks like it may come down a little bit below that 50-day moving average. Again, all of it, everything's pretty much dependent on the price of Bitcoin, which is just kind of hanging out around that 38,000 mark. Lastly, everybody seems to like Ren. I'm terrified of Ren just because that one day that it dropped to like a penny right here on Binance. didn't do it on every one of them. It seems as though they have the liquidity issue solved. So it has it like Bitcoin took another dump after that, and it did not come down to a penny. It did come down to 31 cents, but everything came down about 70%. So similar below the 200-day moving average, looking a little stronger in its wedge. You can see it's testing the downtrend line in its wedge right now, where Bitcoin is not quite there yet. So altcoins looking stronger again than Bitcoin. MACD has already flipped over. It looks like we may see a breakout here. So pivot point, 69 cents. So that's what you want to look for. If you want to buy early, break of this downtrend line, and great. So anyways, last things I want to go over is the 5 microcap altcoins that we talked about. See how they're doing. They're doing quite well. Katana especially, $15.72. I think when we were talking about this is at the 6 or 7 range. So really going well. Katana, I heard rumors about it's going to be listed on Binance. I don't think it is yet. No, it is not, and this would be one of the ones I would bet would get listed on Binance shortly. The other one we talked about was PokeStarter, is in the 160s. We're at 191 now, so not too bad. This is one I talked about, probably the best IDOs to get into or launch off, best performing IDOs to get into or launch off PokeStarter. Did I wouldn't call it a tutorial, but a video on how to get into pre-sales. PokeStarter and YFDAI being the two that I'm most familiar with, but all of them work similar and kind of the same. Just remember on Messenger, or on Telegram, I'm sorry, there's a lot of scammers out there. The two things that I could tell you that happen a lot are you get added to duplicate accounts. So there'll be like a PokeStarter account and you'll get added to it, and it'll try to get you to send Ethereum for like discounted tokens. Don't ever send Ethereum or anything through through the messenger, through the actual messenger with a wallet listed. There'll be a separate app if you're going to buy something, and it'll look like a professional app. The other thing that they do is they'll never DM you first, the admins. So they'll ask you to ask a question in public chat, and they'll say to DM me, and then you DM them first. So a lot of scams, people sending thousands of dollars to addresses that they're never going to get that money back or see anything for it. Anyways, on to the next one, Superfarm. Superfarm, I want to say was in the 50s or 60s, and then one day just out of nowhere spiked to like 85. This is one that I do like fundamentally as well. I like Elio trades. I think he's a good trader. He shares some really non-biased insight. Also, I think that I like the idea of the superverse and the metaverse and all that stuff, and like Decentraland with Mana, M-A-N-A ticker. I like the idea of that and how NFTs are used in that. So I do like the idea of this. I did really well on it, and then made a couple losing trades on it, but it went up to like 480 something, all-time high of 474. It was actually in the 480s in some places, so it's down 83%. Good opportunity there. It's if things were to return to the all-time highs, you're looking at a 600% gain. It's possible. Eternity Chain, another one I just like. I'm going to add another one to ones. You're going to laugh at me for it, but I've been laughed at before. Anyways, Eternity Chain, it was up like 50 times from its pre-sale price, so who knows, maybe it's overpriced, but it's still only $86 million market cap, which still puts it in the microcap category. Are there smaller market caps? Yeah. Opened to start trading at like $3 and went to $74, and it's at $7. So you're looking at possibly 1,000% should it go up. Again, these ones are like the risky ones. These are the penny stocks. Well, maybe I wouldn't compare it to that, just because those are a little lower. But yeah, just remember, these aren't the ones you want to throw $100,000 into. I don't know, maybe you do if you have millions and millions and you could just afford to risk that. Anyways, Exceed Me was the other one. This one showed an all-time high of $1.99, down 82%. So it's an active project. So $20 million market cap, 35 cents, so up about 10% on it overall. Got it in around 30, 31. And potential 600% should it go back to its all-time high. Again, you want to watch Bitcoin. If Bitcoin comes down and it breaks below this wedge and comes down, especially below 30,000, these are going to come even lower. So again, don't want to put all your money into these, but these are your moon bags. These are your high risk, high reward. So they're ones that I do put a tiny bit of money into. Last one, this is the one that I wanted to add, is Pokemon. Play it, NFTs. They're in the NFT game. I don't know exactly anything else that they're doing, but a lot of backers and a lot of big money in this one. I think what happened here is it had its pre-sale, then it had its launch, and it was up so much from the pre-sale that people just sold it, and then Bitcoin started to crash, so people continued to sell it. And even at $6 and such, I think people are still up significantly on it. I would have hate to have had it at $57, been up significantly on it and not sold it. But anyways, it was down like 91.5%. All-time high is $62.10. Currently at $7.50. Another one that could potentially do 1,000% should it go up to the all-time high again. So all 6 of these I do have a little bit in. It's not a lot. It's just one of those, well, if it happens, it happens. And if the market turns around, they'll probably go up to some extent. They will, but how much, I don't know. $12 million market cap, so super small market cap. And we'll see what happens. So anyways, that's it for today. Remember, all eyes on Dogecoin. One thing I can see happening that I want to talk about is just my final thought is Dogecoin does have a huge impact on the market. Should we not really do anything and hang out around this range and then sell off, it would probably affect Bitcoin, and that could potentially be what sends Bitcoin back down to 30,000 or maybe lower. Who knows? I don't foresee that happening, but I want to be open to all options, and I think Dogecoin gets another pump into tomorrow and tomorrow. So that's the main one that I'm focused on right now. Nothing else really seems to be moving after the morning gains, but that's going to be it for today. Hopefully everybody made some money on AMC. If not, then it's going to come down at some point hard anyways. But been a big topic again. That those meme stocks, AMC, GME, BB, and BBBY have been the main ones. So I don't know. I've been trading stocks lately, and since I'm not like forcing anything, my win rate in stocks has gone way up. I'm only trading ones that I see because I'm focused on cryptocurrencies. Anyways, that's all. Good luck with everything. Trade smart, be safe, and we will talk to you later. And do hit the like and subscribe button, please. Greatly appreciate it. Goodbye. See ya.